Boys and girls, Alex here. This is my second video into the concept or proof of concept of my using air cups as vacuum pumps. Now, the star of this show is still my Grabo here with the Easy Swan's underlying 3D printed base. But I thought I'd point that out because I'll be zooming out of there and concentrating on this part here, which I shall now zoom in on. It's basically a bit of MFD style layout, for no other reason that I can then clamp them to my bench or clamp it to any bench so I can move it around. I've got a 28mm hole here, and what I've done, this is actually made out of pine just to prove to all you skeptics that I can cut out of other timber than MDF. And this has been so designed that, let me find the right, God, I've done it again. Here it is. Right unit. This is my 75mm cup, 100mm cup, and I should have a 50mm cup there. Now, for all it's worth, I found the 50mm cup bugger all useful for clamping. However, it's great for just holding on to things, because this cup is just far too soft. Oh look, you can clamp it, but there's very little, because it's so soft, it moves around far too much. Although the others have their limitations as well, but they have this steel backing which can make them quite rigid. The whole idea is this will fit over there and captivate that to stop it from moving. Now, so the whole idea is, better still, before we do that, let's attach this to the bench, and you'll appreciate that I love these TSO dogs. There you have it. That's as solid as you'll ever need. That can, with these dowels, they're just alignment pins, not really serving much purpose other than, God, I've got to bloody turn the camera off now and go and search for something else. Hang on. Got what I was searching for, so I'm ready. Now, it's simply a case of threading this item through here, getting it located, and then attaching the hose. Now, one of the things I will say, in the previous video I did demonstrate how this will, the Grabo will cut out because when it reaches maximum pulling power. However, with this new setup that I've come up with, I'm a bit skeptical, and I don't think this is 100% airtight. Consequently, the Grabo doesn't reach the full power. However, having said that, it will definitely reach enough power that I won't be able to pull this or pull whatever I'm mounting onto the cup off, unless it's naturally porous like MDF or very, very thin, wide grained, or whatever, the long grain or whatever you might call it. So we've got that there. Let's get the suction cup, attach it, and turn on the Grabo. It immediately starts sucking. Let's grab something small, which is why I got this thing. Put it on there, and there you have it. As you can see, it's holding. Now, this being small, it's concaving it, which is not going to be the ideal thing for sanding, but that's very, very short. But the problem is it comes up. So what I've come up with, it won't twist, but I've come up with this little gadget which I can then put in under there. Can you see that? Hopefully you can, yep. And all that's doing is it's sitting on, hang on, I'll switch this off. Pull this down. It's just basically sitting on top of that coupler and between the timber. And it's holding it in place. However, I would like a better mechanism than this, because this still permits, as you can see, movement. However, it won't lift up as well. That's come off, but it won't lift up and down. Now, you've got to bear in mind, I haven't got too many small pieces around, naturally, because if I want to do big pieces, like I can grab a hunk like that and hold on to it. Well, let's do that for the sake of the exercise, but that's not what this is for. It's not meant to hold this. This I can hold on my VAC-SYS, my Festool VAC-SYS. Now that won't, as you can see, when I'm lifting the whole bench up. That's not going to let go. This is cranking up to 270 pounds. So there's plenty of suction there, although it's got lateral movement, as I said. I still haven't captivated that nut. Ideally, what I'd love to do is get something like this, if I can, working on it, because that can grab it from all sides, and there's no way known if I can secure that. But these bloody things are about 150 bucks nowadays, and even then, how do I attach it? I don't know. It's something to consider later on. So there you have it. That's now well and truly held. I can do a few things, but as I said, there's a lot of leverage there, but then I wouldn't be, as I said, using it on this. I'd be using this on smaller parts. I'll try and get something small. I'm back. I've got some parts that are hopefully small. Again, I haven't tried these, but these are too small to be held by other means. Looks like they'll be this. This I think I tried before on the other video. However, being laminated or segmented, I haven't sealed it. So there is air pockets or air gaps through there, and that's why you're not going to get a very good seal on it. However, and not only that, if I had to sand it or run a route around it, I could probably hold that by hand and move it around without as much concern. However, look, I'll try it on this, see what happens. No, it's just not good enough. If I sealed it, as in epoxy sealed it, CA, God knows what, yeah, I reckon it would hold. They are putting it on the other side. Seems to have worked. That doesn't seem right, but anyway, it has worked. Let's release that. There you are. Now this is something I would have trouble holding on to for sanding and all that. Yet I would have no problems in, and there you are, this is actually even sealed, so whatever else I had was quite porous. So let's release that. Turn that off and release. Let's try this one. Again, release. And fortunately these are hardwoods, so they're not going to concave as much as the pine did or the MDF. And oops, release that. And the last bit, no, that's not going to make it. I haven't got enough, but oh yes, it did. There you are, that's work. But the beauty of this is, turn this off, if I want to swap it out, drop this, pull, whoa. That's why I couldn't find it before. I did the same thing, dropped it on the ground and didn't know where it was. Remove this. Oh, by the way, I made this removable. Initially, I glued this to the board there, and then I thought to myself, well, hang on, if I have to change it, if that dimensions, for whatever reason, just in casting or whatever, is out, if I go in and alter this, it won't fit the other one. But at least having it removable, I can swap it out on demand. But as I said, beauty of it is I can now drop in another one, connect the hose. Well, I've got to connect the hose because that gives that thing an anchor point. Throw that in there. Oh! Let's try that again. Now this one's a tight one because I remember I actually, that doesn't seat down 100%. So I actually had to shave it down a bit, and therefore, oh yeah, that'll hold. And now back to our demo. It'll hold. I doubt if I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. The problem is though, it is, as you can see, it does rock. On the bigger one, it doesn't rock anywhere near as much. And that's it. So there you have it. At the moment, I am really happy with the idea. However, the beauty of it is, and I'll, just a sec, hang on, camera off for a second and I'll be back. Alright, for my next little trick, I'll move that out of the way. I'll use a 75mm one. I've taken it naturally out of the cradle, and this is something I've found which is really good. Let's connect it up. Oh! Turn on the Grabo. Fortunately, the Grabo will suck because it's not dragging that much air out. So I'll go and get the subject. Here we have it. Now that's holding on to 330 pounds. Now you tell me where you can sort of like hold on to a piece of board, and this is the thing I reckon is great. Get out your paintbrush, paint away. Now the other thing what I might do is I'll make another one of these little tabletops whereby I can actually, you see, I can't sort of like put it there and then start painting and then pick it up, only because I'd have to break the seal, rip this out so I can lift the unit out of the hole, which means that I'd lose suction. But if I just made a slot in there, I could actually pull it out, and if I'm only painting, I'm not doing much. But then, the beauty of it is I can then, even if I wanted to do it this way, get to all the edges, and then, here we go. Donko, 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 donko. How many times have you had trouble where you've had something down on the table like that, you've painted it, and now you've got to flip it over to paint the bottom side? Well, hey, put it on, switch the Grabo off, and now you can paint the bottom side. On that note, boys and girls, I think this is a worthwhile exercise if you have a Grabo, a vacuum pump or Venturi system. I don't recommend hooking up one of those manual pumps to this. However, hey, you can be cheap and do it that way. Uru boys and girls, and keep safe. Go. Sit.